Hi guys, we're back at EdCon, day 3, and we're with Liam from L4, so thanks for joining us on the channel.
No worries.
I thoroughly enjoyed your chat yesterday or the day before about state channels and the different implementations, and one thing that I've learned is that there's not just these couple of scaling solutions, there's all different teams and projects working on different ways to implement them. So do you want to talk about how you guys are sort of doing that?
Yeah, so we are a company called L4 that are not necessarily building some state channel solution as a business or as a token project or anything like that. We're just trying to lead an initiative of getting this software to be widely easy to understand, easy to use, and available to build on top of. So we're building an open source framework for state channels called Counterfactual, which is, it's all there on our GitHub. You go and you can see demos that we've built so far. And the idea is just, we want to take state channels from being this obscure research concept to being something that any developer interested in the idea can build on top of today. So that's what the project's about.
And the basic explanation you gave was, if we're playing a game of chess, every transaction would clog up the blockchain. So you guys are taking this offline, but now you're getting it to the point where we could play multiple games and record the state of all of them at once.
Yeah, so if you look at like what a dApp is, like the idea of a dApp is it's some application that some number of people can interact with that has the property that there's no central authority that's holding all of the funds involved with that application. And so it's kind of like an ownerless application that just kind of exists on the internet. If you want to achieve the same effect without requiring the use of the blockchain for every single interaction that you have with other people that are using the app, you can use this technique called state channels, which is basically just saying that instead of locking up my money in a contract that everyone has the ability to see, I lock up my money in a contract with only the people that I also want to interact with in this particular application. So for example, tic-tac-toe, it doesn't make sense to lock up your money in a contract where all people can see this and have basically function calls to that contract, because then you're just updating state for state that only matters between you and the other person you're playing with. So a better idea is lock up your funds in a contract with the other person, and then off-chain, sign updates pertaining to the application. So signing, X on the board, O on the board, whatever. And then whenever you're done, then simply go to the blockchain, say who the winner was, and get the money out. And of course, in the event that you say who the winner was, and your counterparty says, no, I won, the whole point of the exchange was that you're signing commitments that could basically refute that possible claim. So that's really all state channels are.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people still think that scaling is a couple of years away, but maybe we've seen Funfair implement their Fate channel. So what sort of progress have you guys made, and do you think that we're already going to start to see some of these being rolled out pretty soon?
So Funfair is basically running that technique I just described, where for each of their casino games, they have an on-chain contract that you lock up your money with the casino, then you play the game off-chain, and they have that for multiple different types of games. They've labeled that, in a marketing sense, called Fate channels. Our technique is called generalized state channels, which is just a fancy way of saying, instead of one contract per game, it's just one contract period between you and the casino, and you can play many games off-chain. That's really the only difference. Their stuff is on mainnet right now. You can play games and they have it all working, and that's great. Our stuff right now is on testnet. It's very similar in structure. We just have a different technology stack. A lot of ideas are inspired from them, and similarly, they've even migrated some of the ways that their code is working based on discussions that we've had with them. I think it's going to be like within this year, you'll have mainnet generalized state channels working. We already have ours on a testnet, the entire tech stack, not just the contracts, but the entire tech stack. Wallet software, APIs for developer applications, all of it. So I think within the year, you'll see more applications built using this software, and hopefully, if any of them are like really useful, then they'll take off.
Yeah, we're only ever sort of one good dApp away from taking this mainstream for public perception, saying, yeah, it's here.
Yeah, and the big question is what's that going to be? I don't really fully know. I mean, I think that it's worthwhile to explore more machine-to-machine use cases, where maybe it's not a human playing tic-tac-toe, but maybe it's a robot, such that you can actually have this property that the robots can interact like instantly in real time, which is what you get from state channels. So that's kind of been unexplored. Like, it doesn't need to literally be a game like tic-tac-toe, but any case where you have a robot that needs to interact with another robot on some pre-committed to conditions, state channels are perfect for that scenario. So we'll see what that looks like. It might be, like, one example is this thing called Foam, which is a proof of location protocol. In their use case, they need, basically the idea is that you have multiple computers that are near each other, validating the nearness to each other. Right, so I'm close to you, so I'll say I'm close to you, you're close to me, you'll say you're close to me. Similarly, if I'm close to another machine somewhere else, I'll say I'm close to it by a bit of a larger distance. there's a lot of interactions between fixed groups of people there. So one thing that they want to do is they want to make all those interactions use state channels instead of the interaction being like me saying that I'm close to you on the blockchain every single time.
Yeah.
So it's a dramatic performance improvement for their protocol. So that's one thing we've been exploring as an example. And that's like a machine-to-machine use case.
That's fantastic. You guys are doing great work, so good luck with it all,
Yeah.
and hope to have you back on the channel in
Appreciate
future.
it. Thank you.
Cheers.